Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another Darth Wookiee episode. Today, we are going to be making the second video in my little mini-series here that I'm starting off in 2018 in World of Warcraft. If you guys remember or haven't seen the first video in this, we went over how to do some Blood Ash Sagaris farming, or farming using the shoulder enchants from the reputation vendors. Today we're gonna do something a little different. I do want to point out though, I haven't done this in a few weeks, so this is kind of one of those things where you kind of save it up and you do it every now and then. And you can basically do this on any character to some extent. Just kind of depends on your preference. I just want to also, what I started to say there was point out a lot of these greens that I have here to disenchant are actually from the farming method that I did in that first video. It's not completely like that, or these aren't completely all from that method, but a good chunk of those are. So basically what this is going to be doing is this going to be turning Nethershards and Legion Fall War Supplies into Chaos Crystals. And so if you notice, I took all of the Chaos Crystals and enchanting materials and everything I had out of my bags. So I'm going to show you what 2 to 3 weeks of kind of doing that shoulder enchant farming. And if you do your order hall quest, you for some of them you get these rewards. You can get war supplies, you can get the Nethershards, you can get some other stuff. So these quests, these ones that give you 7,500 Nethershards, I've been doing those probably for 3 weeks, I guess it would be. And then every now and then I get on and do all of the world quests that I can in the Broken Shore area, because all these give you shards. And so what you can do, I can come back and do the rest of this later, but we're gonna head over to the Broken Shore now. I'm gonna show you guys what you can do with these Nethershards. So I've done some browsing on like the WoW Reddit and the WoW Economy Reddit on their Discord page, and I have seen this method mentioned before, but I have not seen any videos specifically on this method for getting Chaos Crystals. And so it's just really simple. It's buying the like relinquished, I think, armor is what it's called. It's like the 850 880 pieces, I can't remember what they are. Basically opening them up and then just disenchanting them. So this character I don't really play as much. I'm not a huge fan of protection pallies in Legion. They just seem kind of squishy, really spammy on the buttons. So just not my favorite. I have leveled this guy, do mythics and stuff with him still, and you know, it's nice to have multiple alt tunes because you can run multiple raids a week. You can also do I'm really trying on the mythic or on the mage tower challenges with this guy, but I also use all my alts for farming. So what you're gonna do is you run around, you do all the quests, and then you come and turn everything in. So this guy just wants to give us something that's cool. You turn in all of your war supplies, and every time you turn in one of those, you have a chance to get some Nethershards. So that's why you're trying to do all the world quests for those, because some of them will give you the Legion Fall war supplies, some of them will give you Nethershards and the war supplies. So you kind of just want to do these as often as possible if you're trying to do this method. And I think when you for sure want to do the emissary quest, because the chest that they give you will give you like 1,000 Nethershards maybe, or so, somewhere in that ballpark. But basically I'm gonna do most of the disenchanting off screen. I'm gonna do all the gear I've been saving up for the last 2 or 3 weeks first, and then I'm gonna go through and buy these tokens and show you guys kind of what my total loot is. So this is basically just running the order hall world quest for like 2 or 3 weeks. You know, you just have to log in for like a minute, and that's it. That's basically it. You just save up your Nethershards. And so I mentioned earlier, you can do this on any character, and that's kind of true to an extent. On my main character that I started playing when Legion came out, I kind of out-geared this gear for the most part by the time I realized this. But that character had like 30 or 40,000 Nethershards on it. So I went and I dropped my herbalism profession. I went through and I bought all these, disenchanted everything, and then went back and bought up or picked up herbalism again. And I paid $800 for the book to like keep my ranks on everything, and it was so worth it. So this is like either a really easy way to get like a bunch of enchanting materials for if you need to level up enchanting, or you're trying to sell enchants, or even if you don't want to mess around with that and you just want to like drop a profession, pick up disenchanting, burn all your crystals, get a bunch of chaos crystals, and then just sell all those. Depending on your server, I think these on my server probably sell like 100, 110, or 120 gold a pop. So if you have, 20, 30,000 shards, that could be a couple grand, right there, that easy. So I'm going to go ahead and disenchant everything off camera. I'll show you guys how much I have just from, I guess this is kind of a demonstration of another benefit of that other farming method that I showed in the first video. But for the most part, I'm just going to show you guys how many crystals I get at the end. Alright guys, so I just went through, took me, I don't know, 3 or 4 minutes. I just went through and disenchanted everything. So basically just from running some raids, a couple dungeons now and then, my daily heroics. This is all the stuff I got, all the greens from farming the birds and getting all the shoulder enchants. I also forgot to mention, if you have these bind on account, this bind on account gear, you can also use the similar method for that kind of gear, so you can stockpile that up. So let's say I have a monk and maybe next week I'm gonna drop his mining profession and pick up disenchanting and disenchant a couple 100 pieces of gear from Nethershards. I might save these and send those over to him so he can disenchant them, since my paladin can't. Same thing goes, like if I had a hunter or shaman, I could do the same thing with that. So keep that in mind. Again, this isn't supposed to be like, the best farming method in the world, and I didn't claim that my, the method I was using in my last video was. I'm just trying to give you guys some tips, some tricks, maybe some ideas to think outside the box, like saving these or using Nethershards. So we got a tally of 17 on these, so I'm going to go ahead and buy up a bunch of stuff and open it and disenchant all these, and then we'll see how much we end up with at the end. Alright guys, okay guys, we are back. As you can see here, I went and spent all my Nethershards, disenchanted a bunch of rings. I just filled up my bags. So I think we started with 17 that I had from some of my raiding and dungeon gear. So I think we ended up with about 68 chaos crystals. I probably could have rounded that off at 70 if I did some of these quests before. Came over and did that and took care of my emissary quest, but that's okay. This video is more just kind of about the idea, and as I was sitting here and disenchanting these, I was kind of thinking about something else. So most of my characters, I have a gathering and then a crafting profession, but I know it's very common to also have 2 crafting professions. So it might be possible that you don't want to drop one of your professions, pick up enchanting, disenchant all this stuff, and then pick it up again, because then you'll have to level it all the way back up. You keep the ranks for your recipes, but then you have to craft a bunch of stuff. So it's not as easy as a gathering profession. So I figured I'd go ahead and I'd show you guys. Oh, we have 5 more crystals here, I guess. So we did max out over 70. You can actually sell this gear too. Looks like the rings I was disenchanting just sell for 10 gold. But the helms, trinkets, legs, and chest all sell for more. I'm not sure if if it Warforge or Titanforge, I don't think that affects the price, but it might. But it looks like the legs sell for the most. So you could go ahead and just sell all that stuff too. So this is absolutely something you could do if you have 2 crafting professions if you have 2 crafting professions and you don't want to drop one of them, but you still have like a couple 100,000 or like a couple tens of thousands of Nethershards just sitting around. Definitely come over here, talk to this chick, sell all the stuff. Even at what did I say? The highest was 17 gold. You could make a couple hundred, 1,000 gold, just from selling vendor and all that stuff back. And it might not be the highest like gold per minute strategy, but it's definitely better than nothing. So if you just need to cover like your 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 flasks and your food for your next raid, or you're trying to level a different profession and you just need a couple hundred extra gold to spend on mats, so you don't have to spend a ton of time farming it out or whatever. Just one of those things, trying to put out some unique different tips and tricks and ideas. So if you like this video, go ahead and check out the first one if you haven't seen that already. And I have a few ideas for what I'm going to do for my third and my fourth video in this little mini series that I'm doing, so keep your eyes open for those. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye. Oh, the tree kind of ran the shot there.